Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to everyone on Counselors Connect World. Thank you guys again for tuning in to our podcast. I have someone so special, so amazing that has joined us today. I want to welcome everybody from everywhere. Shatiera Porter on our podcast. Did I say your name right?
Portee.
Portee.
Yes.
Okay. Welcome.
Hey, boo.
I want to welcome the world to this amazing counselor. You are so amazing, girl. So amazing.
Oh, thank you, boo.
So inspiring. Tell us about yourself.
Well, first, I want to say, April, thank you for having me. I appreciate you so much. I'm so glad to be connected, not only as a colleague of yours, but also now a sister. And
Yes.
you have just been amazing since the day we started communicating and connecting with one another. So I just want to say thank you, and it's a pleasure to be here. So
Yes.
my name is Shatiera Portee. I am a New Jersey native, mom, entrepreneur, CEO, consultant, author, and mentor. I am from Red Bank, New Jersey, a small town with a big heart, big soul. And growing up, I was very shy. I was, stayed to myself. They used to have this joke that I used to always be attached to my grandmother's leg.
Aw.
And, they would have to pry me off of her just so, that I could be able to start to socialize and just be a kid. And, I grew up wanting to be a pediatrician, wanted to be a teacher, and dealt with some things growing up. I am a product of teenage parents, very young. They had me. I'm the oldest. And through going through that experience in life, I dealt with depression, some mental health things. And as I got older, especially in high school, I just was really checked out, very angry. And I, didn't know what I wanted to do. I ended up, thankfully, graduating from college, studied in psychology, got into different areas of mental health. And through that, through 20 years of mental health, I then went and fell in love with education. And I did that about 10 years. And then I decided that I wanted to shift. I wanted to shift for my own mental health, for my own peace, but I wanted to be able to work with different people all over the world. And I opened up my business, School Counselors on Wheels. So now I'm an education consultant, traveling the world, mentoring, coaching, teaching, and having programs for our youth so they can remind themselves how dope and amazing they are. And just continuing, author wrote a book, I Forgive Myself for Forgetting Myself. And I'm just living life. I'm learning as a woman to become better. I'm a mother of a 14-year-old becoming better. And every day I'm just waking up, just being grateful and humble that I made it. And now I'm helping others make it through as well. So that's a little bit about me.
Oh my gosh. Like you are just everything and more. Like, if we
Thank
could,
you.
I just want to first give you your flowers
Mm,
because first I want to say when I connected with you, I actually was following you for a little bit on social media. I'm like, who's this
hmm
counselor? Because when you don't see, when you see a
Yes.
black school counselor, you're like, oh, I want to see what they're doing or what they're about. And
Yes.
when I saw your page and what you was doing and how you would come on, you would do lives inside your car as you was hitting the
Yes.
road, because your business is School Counsel on Wheels. So you're
Yes.
always on the go helping others. And I
Always.
want to give you your flowers and thank you for just going after the school counseling drive the way you do for helping young people. You're probably one of the busiest school counselors that I know. You
Yes.
are always on the go, and that's inspiring for me because when I
Yes.
saw you, I was like, wow, like she's doing it. Like, and the way
Oh,
how I
thank
saw school counselors, like how they're boxed in, the office, and I'm
Right.
like, I don't want to be that boxed in counselor.
Right.
I want
Right.
to be on
Right.
the field helping others outside of the office, and to see the
Right.
work that you're doing, I commend
Mm,
you, I honor you, and I salute you for what you're doing. And thank you for showing me as a black school counselor, like, listen,
yes.
you can be bad inside the office and bad outside the office. And I appreciate you. I really do.
Aw.
And your journey, your story. And ladies and gentlemen, please go support her, buy her book.
Thank
What's the name
you.
of your book?
Sure, it is. I Forgive Myself for Forgetting Myself. It's
Yes.
available online through Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Books a Million, Walmart, and Target. So you can get it online.
Okay, so I'm
Yes.
I'm actually when we get off of this, I'm gonna purchase my book.
Thank you.
I want to put the link inside of the this chat, the podcast, so everyone could go down and purchase it. listen, wherever the books are sold, purchase this book
Yes.
today. She has a
Yes.
story,
Yes.
and I'm just amazed at what you shared, and I'm just thankful to
Thank
know
you.
you. That's
Oh,
amazing.
thank you. You know what, April? One of the things that you said that I really have to emphasize, and you also are having me take a second look at it and really be proud of that, is I felt like I didn't see many of us coming up. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I went into the school counseling role after being exhausted and wanted to
Mm.
try something different through mental health, right? And you're right. I am not the typical everyday counselor. I don't talk like some counselors. I don't work like some counselors. I do things very different and unique. I love on you hard, but I also am going to expect a lot of things from you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the way that I view life and the way my approach may be a little bit different. And I think that was another thing being inside, certain places and districts where they stunt some of you or hold you back in a way, with certain areas. And I felt like I was fighting more for my own peace, trying to be an advocate for the students, and I was losing myself in that.
Mm.
So I wanted to create a space for me that didn't hinder too much of what I was doing, wasn't going against what I believe in, but also still working in the role and in the field of helping. And I realized that I can do that,
Yes.
in a way that continually support not only the students, the staff, the families, and our communities.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Which
Yeah.
leads me to my first question. What
Mhm.
motivated you to become a school counselor? Because like you said, you've said so much, but what has motivated you to go down that path of leaving, becoming a teacher, and all the other
Mhm.
things that you've tried? What
Mhm.
inspired you to be a school counselor?
I think I have to share this part of my story because it leads to how I fell into school counseling. So in high school, I had two school counselors. I had two guidance counselors. They were called guidance counselors at the time.
Yeah.
And my first guidance counselor, I felt like I saw her with my schedules, and that was pretty much it. It wasn't a really, a deep rapport, relationship exchange. And I think it got to a point where, you know, her, because we didn't have that. I don't know if she was able to direct me or guidance me or give me the tools or the resources that I needed to continue where I was going. And I was already in a dark place. So when she told me that basically I was only good enough to go to community college,
Mm.
I knew that didn't feel right. I knew that made me feel uncomfortable. So immediately I came home to my grandmother and I said, I don't think she's supposed to say that to me. I don't feel good about that. So we ended up going back to the school. I was able to change my guidance counselor at the time and got someone who looked like me, who was older,
Mm.
but also was patient with me. No matter, I was dark, I was depressed, I was, a pistol, but she was patient with me my whole ride, and I got into a 4-year college. I was able to
Wow.
get a scholarship in high school from the NAACP
Wow.
of women. So I was in the cotillion. So my life started shifting when I had somebody supporting
Mm.
me no matter what, right? So then I started knowing that when I was in college, I was majoring in psychology. I wanted to help youth. And I always had that connection with helping youth. And I think just after experimenting and doing different things, I finally came back to education and it fell into my lap. But one of the things that I felt like I may have taken, the scenic route. I always say that Shatiera takes the scenic route of things, but I do that to understand and be proud and grateful, of my journey. So part of me leaning into the school counselor was after being discouraged, after getting encouraged, after my experience of different. I worked in a jail, I worked in a methadone clinic, I worked in an outpatient. I've done anything you could think of, crisis screener, anything that you can think of in mental health. I have done that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when I came across just continuing the passion of working with students and kids, I fell into it that way. And then while I was there, I said, you know what, this is great to be able to give someone something I didn't have
Wow.
at a point in my life, And that's what really motivated me to go back into the school systems where I may have felt broken or I may have not felt supported the entire time. Go back and have someone that looks like, because most of my jobs have been in urban school districts. So I wanted to be in places where students could see a counselor that looks like them,
Wow.
that understands what it means to come from teenage parents, to understand to have substance abuse, to understand where you're dealing with things, right? And also encourage you to not give up, and also to keep pushing even in your academics. So being able to, wear multiple hats in those realms and in the school district, but also have push them for greatness at the same time. So we're not going to make an excuse for this, right?
Right.
But I'm going to support you, and I want to be able to be that cheerleader and support. So really, it led to me being someone that I didn't have in that type of setting. And knowing that it was possible, because I did eventually have one at my senior year, right? But I wanted to be able to be in places to be able to encourage and motivate and inspire our youth.
I'm just like I'm just because I'm thinking about my daughter and I'm thinking about her experience right now.
Right,
And right now her counselor doesn't look like her. And there were some things that was said that I didn't agree with. And,
right,
you know, I had to check that counselor, like, listen,
right,
you
right,
can't speak to my daughter like that. And I had to
right,
request another counselor because, again, there was no one, that counselor was not seeing the greatness in my daughter.
right, right,
And if my daughter allowed the counselor to continue to speak to her that way, she probably wouldn't be thriving the way she is now.
right,
So
right,
I'm thinking about
right.
your story and how that your counselor that you had, the nerve of her to tell you that you had to go to a 2-year college and look at you now. If she could only see the impact that you have now
Right,
and the voice
right,
that you have now, and if she
right,
was to shut your mouth and you would have never progressed,
right,
look
right,
how many
right,
children and students that you wouldn't be able
right,
to help and save.
right. You're so right, because not only did I go to a 4-year college and had a 3.6 GPA, and then went to my master's program and then got a certificate in play therapy and continued my education. You're right, and you said something that already had me, like, people speak to me, I'm already thinking. So in my mind, I'm like, what about cultivating, right? And I don't know if this is me, but even if somebody's listening and has the strength and the bravery and really feeling inspired, what does it look like if we all come together? Black, brown, white, purple, green, all counselors, school counselors come together and put it on the table. How do we support our Black children, our children of color? How do we support, our children from different countries? Like, what about just really trying to say, bias and all, let's come together. And what does this look like? So when we have students that come in our office, we're not afraid to say, let me go connect with someone that might can help me, or I'm continuing to get the professional development, and the skills to be able to be there and be present and understand. And I think we don't like to show that we don't know everything. We don't like to. We want to first say, I'm not prejudiced. I don't have any things, right? But we all have things with us that we can work on. But it would be great to be able to also, there's two angles from it, not feeling like you're the Black counselor that can save all the kids, but we understand it, right?
Wow.
But also being able, that's why I said us coming together so that we can all work together to be
Yes,
and have honest conversations and safe conversations where we can help, because our children really need us right now,
they
baby.
do.
They do.
And I feel like being a Black counselor, you have to feel like a superhero. You have
Yes,
to wear a cape.
yes,
And like you
yes.
said, we want to save everyone. We want, unfortunately, we can't save everyone,
Right,
but
right, right,
we would love to.
right,
And it's
right.
like we have to wear this cape. And like you said, we want everyone to come together. Black, white, brown,
Mm-hmm.
purple, green, whatever
Mm-hmm.
color you
Right,
are, whatever race,
right,
let's come together and let's talk
right,
about this. How could
right.
we work for the best of the children's ability? How
Yes,
could we
yes,
best service them? How could we pull their performance up? What are
yes,
some
yes.
strategies that we could come to? Taking
Right,
the race card off the table. How could we all
right,
come together and just help them?
right, right,
Like we don't want to just be the only Black girls trying to
right.
save America. We
Because you know
want
what's going to happen? We're going to be exhausted. We're going to check out. And you're going to be like me, where I got to a point and I said, okay, let me remove myself from this situation. And we already don't see much of us in close places, right? or we're in certain places and we're only doing this. So then what's going to happen when we get burned out or we feel like, we had enough? We leave. And what does that do to the pot, right? What does that do for the students? You know what I'm saying? It decreases, that availability to have another mentor that maybe look like them, that could understand what they're going through, to support them.
Wow. And I want to just tell the listeners, if you are even thinking about becoming a school counselor and you are a black female or a black male, and I'm not making this a race thing,
Right.
but we need you.
Yes.
The
Yes.
students need to see you in those buildings. They need to see someone that looks like them, because guess what? Your voice is the foundation for their future, for their education, for them to make career choices.
Right.
So
Right.
they don't realize school counselors are the foundation to help them to their next journey,
Yes.
to their next level.
Yes. Yes.
So they play a
You.
major part in decisions that
Yeah.
happen outside of high school.
Yes.
And if you don't have the right counselor to counsel you and to
Mhm.
help you
Mhm.
navigate what's getting
Mhm.
ready to take place,
Mhm.
you'll settle for a 2-year college. You'll settle. And again, there's
Yep.
nothing wrong with don't get me
Right.
wrong
No.
here.
No.
There's nothing
Right.
wrong with 2-year college. There's nothing wrong with the trade school.
Right. Right.
There's nothing wrong with going to the army. I love those things. I'm all for
Yeah.
it. But
Yes.
if you have a feeling where you could do more, achieve more,
Mhm. Mhm.
and you don't have someone to push you, and you have a
Mhm.
counselor that's
Yeah.
just going to have you settle,
Yes.
we need you.
Right. Right.
We need every one of you guys. If
Right.
you have an
Right.
inkling in your body that you feel like you're a counselor or someone that could help students, sign up and go to school, become a school
Right.
counselor, because it's an amazing field, number one. Number two,
Yes.
they need you.
Yes. And I would encourage any counselor and educator that is listening to this, or if a counselor is going to share this to someone, also continue to advocate for your role. I understand too how much we are wearing multiple hats and we are doing things. And we're trying to show how, our role is important and the duties that we should, be doing and different things. But continue to advocate for your role. Do not stop. Do not stop. And as anyone that's listening, please, please, if you see a counselor, a school counselor, give them a great encouraging word, support them, ask them what they
Yes.
need, tip your hat to them, but continue to be in their corner, because it's not easy with a lot of things that's going on today.
Yes. And as you talk about, it's not easy, I want you to share what are some challenging things that you have faced thus far in the field?
Ooh. And I had different kinds of roles. So I have also worked in residential capacities where I was a clinical therapist and a school counselor role. And then I'm working as a counselor, but teaching and doing different things. But I think one of my biggest challenges, well, first one is just making sure I was taking everything home. So that was a challenge, I would say, taking everything home, bringing it home. And I have a son. So because I was bringing it home, that energy, what was going on, those challenges and obstacles was affecting my household and my relationship and my dynamic with my son. Just whether I was being overtired, aggravated, frustrated. So when it came to him, I wasn't able to turn off that, knob, or take off that hat, so I
Right.
can be present and being able to pour back into my son. Because if you got to think about it, the role, I'm there 5 days a week, 7 hours a day. So it's a full-time job. And then I'm home with my son a couple of hours before bedtime, eating, and then weekends. So my students at school were seeing me more than probably my son. So when I did come home, I wasn't able to have the capacity to be present and be able to build a healthy dynamic and relationship. So that was something that, being able to balance my role and my responsibility as a mom and anything else I had to do. I think another big thing that I had was just trying to advocate for the mental and social emotional wellness of all the students. I think, there's a lot of expectations for academics,
Right.
but how can they come to school and be able to get high test scores and do those things and all these things you want them to do if basic needs aren't being met? If there's stressors at home, if they're coming and they're hungry and they're struggling, or whatever the case may be, we're, expecting, how we take off and put on hats, that we want our students to do the same thing. With some of still learning, and they haven't built the life skills yet that we
Yes.
want them to have.
So
So I
true.
think just, yeah, so I think for me, when it became when advocacy turned into arguments, when advocacy turned into, not being heard, and just felt like I was wearing a vest every day and just fighting, I think that was my challenge. Not being heard, being able to just try to support in all the ways that I can. And I think getting more, I think also too, just doing everything. Like, if I'm supposed to be doing this role, I'm outside, I'm doing security, I'm doing, what I'm saying? You're just doing all these different things. So I think my challenges was like additional roles and responsibilities that I feel like could have been given to somebody else. Um, Advocacy, fighting for advocacy and my students, and then being able to take care of myself, have self care, and also being able to, just be a mom and be home and have a life outside of that.
Wow, you like flowing right into my questions. So that, having those roles is a lot.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a lot. And
yeah.
they always say do not take work home. And I know you said that.
Right.
That's one of the stresses right there, is taking work home and
Mm-hmm.
bringing everything, especially like if you're because I heard you say you're a clinical therapist as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I know the stresses of that role
Right,
as well.
right, right, right,
Because if you leave a session and you're hearing someone talk and they're like, especially if it's heavy, you're like in the car with it.
right,
You're coming inside and you're trying to, speak to your kids and your husband. You're like, oh God, like, hold on, just give me a few minutes because it was just
right,
heavy in the office.
right,
What they just
right.
unloaded on me and
Yes.
unpacked on me is heavy, and I haven't released it yet. So, carrying all of that inside and then trying to deal with home life and trying to get yourself together,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's overwhelming.
Right, right, right.
But I wanted to ask you, as a school counselor, because you did tap in a little bit about trying to keep up with your self care.
Mm-hmm.
How do you keep up with self care?
Well, I have to share that all the obstacles that you did share, it got to a point where one of my years, I got burnt out. So from if anyone's listening, if you can imagine, if you take your hand and you put it on the side of your hip, and from your hip down
I'm
to
gonna
your
try that.
toes, right? So you're holding your hip, right? And on your hip, on whatever leg, side of the leg you have, and from your hip all the way down on both legs, my legs went numb,
Wow.
except in the kneecaps
Oh my goodness.
and in my feet. And I went to the doctor. My iron was a little bit, my vitamin D was low, but um, it was just weird. I went to a chiropractor. They were doing pricking my legs. I did a full body scan. Everything was normal. Went to physical therapy twice a week for a couple of weeks. It was stressed.
Mm,
I was physically putting stress on my body.
wow.
I didn't have the best appetite. I always made that joke. I almost had it to where it depends because I wasn't going to the bathroom as much because I'm just going and going and going. So I wasn't physically taking care of myself because I was working at a capacity
Wow.
that just was overextending myself. And I think that scared me, but it took me a while to tap into my self care because I was used to working 60, 70 hours a week. So I think finally when I said, and I started seeing how it was affecting my son and not being there. Finally, I said, we got to wake up and we got to do something different. So, I started getting more into my faith, started journaling. I started, and some people had an issue with this, but I started doing once a month, a weekend away. Whether it was, and when I say a weekend, it's on the weekend, where this is Saturday into a Sunday, like an
Wait,
overnight.
you said somebody had a problem with that?
He was kind of like, oh, you're leaving, you're doing this. And I said, I need to take care of me
What?
so I can continue to take care of myself. So, you have a lot of views that want to tell you how to raise the household, how to live your life, right? You got those fans, right? Family included. And you just like, listen, I'm trying to fill up my cup. So I would take an overnight where I would just go. I'm not a big TV. I don't watch the TV. So I would just take a bath, pour into myself, and get myself together sometimes. And I did that and I did that. I did walking. I did hiking. I just did a lot of stuff. So I really
I
started
love that.
shifting and trying to find activities and different things to be able to, I call it fill up my cup, because they say when you pour the cup and the cup is filled, it's at the brim, it's at the top, and then you start pouring out from it, you don't have any much more from yourself. It starts getting lower and lower. So one of the things that you need to concentrate is to make sure that when you pour your cup, and this is from my coach by Jack, I love her. When you pour the cup and that overflow, everybody's supposed to get the overflow. Nobody gets what's in your cup,
Wow.
because you need that to replenish yourself, and you need that
Yes.
to continue to be great and do the things that you're doing. So I think I had to, and I'm still working on that. It's changes different seasons. So what may work for me may not work for me, because I like new things, but I'm intentional, being intentional of making sure that what did I do today for me. So I think about that. But it's a mind shift. You got to shift your mindset. You got to do those things. But I think girls trips, going out, going to the spa, getting a massage, getting your feet done, all of those things, getting your favorite wine, or your juice, coffee, tea, whatever you like, child, cheesecake, getting your things that make you feel good. And I think you have to start doing that and not feeling bad about it. It's not selfish, it's self-love, I call it. So, but just pouring back into yourself. And that's what I had to do. I had to slowly do that and then teach myself not to feel bad that I was doing it, because I couldn't enjoy it fully, because I was thinking, like, am I doing something wrong?
So you said so many things. First of all, that I'm going to start doing to every other weekend and being intentional about it and not really worrying about the feelings of others, because I feel like sometimes we're so focused on other people, because some people have their routine set
Yes.
and they're okay with just going
Right.
until they have the crash, until they crash into the wall. But
Right.
now that you have honed in on you and you're focused on you and what you need to make yourself replenish, a lot of us don't have that. And
Right. Right.
I remember when the first chat that we had our coffee chat, guys.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I remember you told me to go celebrate myself.
Yes.
And that's something that I never do. Like, I'll do things and I won't celebrate myself. I'll just say, "Oh, okay, that was just something that I achieved," and that's it. I'll
Right.
just
Right.
go on like a regular day. But something that from that conversation that we had,
Right.
I started everything I do, rather it's me just, I don't know, trying something new. I celebrate it because that's something that I want to celebrate, and I started adding to me.
Yes. Oh,
So
I love
so
that.
it's so important, like you said, whatever is going to let you replenish, let your cup run over.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Celebrating yourself, going on your girls trip, doing what makes you
Yes.
happy, praying. Praying is something that I
Yes.
love to do. I love praying. I love spending time with my family and traveling, things like that as well. But that every other weekend thing, I'm going to do that.
And you're going to see yourself feeling different. And I want to shout out my coach again, Coach by Jack, because she taught me that. So I understand where everybody who's listening and how you felt, April. Learning to celebrate myself was hard. Immediately, right after we came to a win and we started doing things, she said, "How are you going to celebrate yourself?" Every time we met, she asked me that. And I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
But I would not, she would not, I would not leave. I had to say something. Do you know, girl, I got so cute. I started celebrating myself 2 or 3 times a day, baby. I said, okay, I'm going here, I'm going this, I'm doing this. I'm just going to do this. So now I celebrate myself every day. Whether it's
Yes.
going outside, it's going this, sniffing the flowers, getting some Dots candy. Y'all love me some Dots candy. You know, and I'm a big foodie. But I celebrate in a way, or I get a book, or and it doesn't have to be financial. It could just be something that you want to do for you in that moment.
Right.
Make some biscuits, whatever.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Do a bubble
Yes.
bath, treat yourself, but do a facial, just celebrate yourself. So now it's so intentional. That's not a part of my routine. Like, that's part of it. You know how you wake up, you pray, you meditate. There you go. Pray, meditate, celebrate yourself. Pray, meditate, celebrate yourself. Pray,
Yes.
meditate,
Celebrate yourself. Yes.
celebrate yourself. Period, y'all.
I
And
love
make
that.
sure you start doing that. And it's going to take some time. Like, I do it every day, but you might want to do it once a week. So maybe pick a day out of the week, right? Sundays is for my celebration days. Friday, we made it to Friday, or what I call Winning Wednesday, right? So every Wednesday, I post about a win or the wins I've accomplished, whether it's for the day or this past week. So you can celebrate yourself even on Wednesdays, and it's called Winning Wednesdays. What wins are we celebrating today? And it can just be like getting up early, staying in the bed late, being able just to say thank you, being grateful. You know what I'm saying? I passed this test. Whatever that is, learn to celebrate all your wins. We're so quick to beat ourselves down and be critics about the things that we don't do, or about
Yes.
things that others don't do. Stop it. Stop worrying about them. Let's focus on us. And when you turn that back in and start doing the things about you, I guarantee you your attitude and how you feel is going to change. And then how you talk to people and show up is going to be different too.
Wow. Listen, y'all. I hope y'all are taking notes with the school council on Will. She is dropping some gems. I am so inspired today. You just don't understand. Like I'm every time I talk to you, even if it's through a text that you send me or a
Right,
post, I'm
right.
like, this girl is just like you pump me up. Like you
Oh,
literally,
thank
because again,
you.
sometimes we look for validation from others just to feel,
Yes,
but like you
yes,
genuinely mean it. Like you're
yes,
not
yes.
faking it. And I'm telling you,
No,
from the time I met you, I'm like, she's not no faker. She's like, this is
right.
genuine love. Like I really,
Yes,
every
yes,
time I talk to you, and I knew that when we was going to talk and meet,
yeah,
that it was just going to be a flowing conversation. It wasn't going to be hard to talk to you because you're
yes.
genuinely about what you do. You're passionate
Mhm.
about building people up, about just seeing everyone win. And that's what I love about you. I
Yes,
love
yes.
that. I love
And
that.
you know why? I thank you for saying that, April, because it was hard to find that in some of my communities, and I wanted that so bad. I wanted that so bad that I stayed in situationships and dynamics that probably didn't need to. They was already expired. They already had the eviction notice ready, child,
Come on now.
and I stayed there
Preach.
looking for that because I wanted that. And I said, no, 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 no. We're going to learn from these. We're going to show up different because I started
Yes.
becoming that, and now just exude that. And when that happened, my world shifted. Shifted. But now meeting amazing women like you that I now can say, this is my sister, this is my friend, because of being able to be this authentic me. Because like when I cheer and I street loud, some people have an issue with that. Why are you so happy? Why are you all smiling all the time? Oh, you just doing too much. Somebody even said that. Like, and I'm like, you know what? No, no, you're not my people.
Yes.
You're not my tribe. You're not, you're safe for me, baby. So that's okay. I'm gonna take my loud, bright self. And as someone Dr. Guillory would say, if I'm too bright, put your shades on, baby.
Come on. I'm using that. Let me tell you, I have always been told, oh, April, you're just doing too much. She thinks she all that. And literally, I am like, always, because I always ask my sister, like, I wonder why people are so mad at me. Like, I'm really just trying to just
Right.
be happy for them or like just celebrate people or,
Right. Right.
that's just
Right.
the type of person I am. But like you just said, if I'm too bright for you, baby, put them shades on.
Put them on, boo. And you still gonna see me with them on.
Yes, exactly. So I want to pivot a little bit.
Yes.
So you just took this amazing trip
Yes. Yes.
to South Africa, and
Yes.
I was watching those posts, those pictures.
Yes.
I was like, I need to be there. So I want you to
Yes.
tell the people about this trip. Tell me about the trip. Don't leave nothing out. I want all the details. Give me the tea, girl.
Oh my goodness. So the trip was amazing. I'm wanting to go back. So as we just left the conversation about being around others and people that fill your cup up, that's what that was about. So anyone listening, please, please, please grab your phones. Grab your phones. You need to follow Woman CEO Project. This woman
Amazing.
boss coach, Christy, she's amazing. I've been following her for a couple of years. And I went to her Global Power Tour in November, and then but however, I already paying for the trip, so I've been paying on that trip for a year. So those of
Wow.
you, listen, you can pay on some stuff. You deserve it. Invest in yourself, pour into yourself. That's a way to celebrate yourself by doing what you can to pour into yourself. So what the retreat is about getting, especially Black women together, who are in different areas, different spaces in their lives, whether they're coaches, they just business women, and you go on luxury retreats. So it's a luxury retreat, and you spend about a week with her. So in my mind, leading up to that, I was already feeling burnt out, coming into the first quarter, wanting to shift my mindset. So instead of just going for that week, I said, let me do 2 weeks. I deserve that. I'm going to celebrate myself. So I booked 2 weeks where I got the dates. And, from the dates that I was with her, I did a week ahead of that. So not only I wanted to do that, I wanted to be able to detox my mind. I wanted to be able to pray. I wanted to meditate. I ate all vegan food, so I detoxed my body. I journaled, and I also just really focused on me. And I wanted to get adjusted, to the time change because they're 7 hours ahead.
Wow.
So yes, if you're listening, I traveled to Johannesburg, South Africa by myself, where I stayed in a hotel, a luxury apartment hotel. Now listen, y'all, it's budget friendly. Listen, I spent 5 days for a room, including breakfast, for $249.
What?
Yes, $249
Oh my
with
goodness.
5 days, right? So, 5 days with breakfast included
Wow.
for 249.
That's
Baby,
listen, because I
that's
honestly,
what milk and eggs is costing right now.
listen,
Just that.
I was telling my husband, I was like, I said my girl just went on an Africa trip, and I was like, I want to go there next year. So
Yes.
everyone knows I'm afraid to fly. He said, you sure you're gonna want to go?
Really?
So I'm like, I might have to, go to this trip because from what I
Yes.
saw,
Yes.
it was, whew.
Now let me tell you, baby. Now I took a flight straight through. You can break it up. If you want to break it up, I think it can go from New York, New Jersey to Dubai. I did the straight through, so it was about 14 hours, 15 hours straight.
Jesus.
Yes, but I went overnight, so you have to be. It's a lot. So I would say if you would probably, I don't know, and people, I would say you break it up, but then if you're, I don't know, some people like, I don't know,
I,
you have to talk to hubby and see.
I'm not a
But
flyer. I'm not a flyer.
yes,
I need to. I would
yes,
have to break it up like every 2 hours. Stop, take a break, breathe.
you'll get there in 3 days.
I need to touch the ground and then fly again because I'm not a. I'm.
Right, I understand, but you know what? Christy, the woman, the CEO and founder of Women CEO Project, she talks about that too. Once you follow her, I'm going to send you her page. But when we got there and I left, so she rents out a whole property, and it's a mansion that has a hotel and a villa. You
Mm,
can't only rent out one. She rented out the whole entire property.
mm,
And when we come there, we have an all white dinner, and then you have the natives that come and they dance and they sing, and it's champagne flowing,
wow.
and we just meet, and then the next day automatically it's a 10-hour coaching day. From
Wow.
10 hours that you're coaching, you're getting mastermind, you're getting fed about your business, about your mindset, whether it's a CEO mindset or not, child. And then we did spa days, and then we went to the safari, and then we went to high tea,
Mm,
and it was amazing. And when I tell you it was 15 of us, I cultivated and created, like, just got so many amazing friendships and bonds that we're still in a group chat today. We're still following each other's pages today. We're
mm.
still talking about, okay, who's going here and who's meeting up there today. And when I tell you, and Janae, I have to send you her page too. She's amazing. She talks about how making sure that you surround yourself in places where your conversation is elevated. Elevate the
Mm.
conversation. So not only should you be participating in conversation that elevate, you should be able to bring an elevated conversation where it keeps you on your toes. An elevated conversation brings elevation in money, brings
Wow.
elevation in success, brings
Yes.
elevation in mindset. So I think just really, as someone who again is coming from a small connect system, also coming as growing her business, it really keeps you on your toes, and it makes you say, okay, listen, I got to get going. So it was amazing. It was
Mm.
way more. It was in value. Like it was so valuable. Like there's no money amount that I could put on it. It was just so amazing. And I just had an amazing time. Like I think I hugged her a million times. I hugged the lady. We danced, we laughed, we opened up, we shared, and we really built amazing
Mm.
connections. So those is like my business besties out there.
Aw.
And they come from all over the world. Like
Wow.
nobody really I think there was two people that knew each other. They came to our family, but we all met each other for the first time. We did not know each other. We came there
Wow.
and we left as sisters, and left as accountability partners, and left as business partners, and left as friends, and left as besties, and left as just women who we want to see you win, and we're going to
Mm.
make sure that we support you in that.
Now, does she do anything like in New York? Does she have any
So,
events?
right, based in Houston, but every year, and I'll send you the information. It's called the Global Power Tour, where women all over come together. So I went in November,
Mm-hmm.
and it was amazing. It was a all day. It was just amazing. It was over 150 women in the room, and we
Wow.
connected. And they just have different speakers, and she coaches you on different things. I'm not currently anything in New York, but she does different retreats. So coming up, she's going to Portugal. She's going to different places, and she's going back to Johannesburg and Cape Town. Cape Town is sold out, just sold out yesterday.
Wow.
But you can get on the waiting list.
Did you get your ticket?
But Huh?
Did you?
So do you know what it is? Because I'm trying to figure out what that would look like, because that is the month that also I wanted to do something with you.
Oh
So
yes,
it's in
yes,
March
yes.
next week. But there's other trips that she's planning that I definitely am going to go back. Like,
Okay.
you gotta go back. Like, when you, to be honest, and it's no shade to anybody else, but when you go on her retreats,
No other
who's
retreats.
doing them? Who's doing those, baby? For real. Like, and like, that was my first like big one. Like, that's a level. You're just like, listen, sis.
Right.
Huh, here's your crown. Here's your trophy. You got it. It was the best thing. Like, just the food, the quality, the chef.
Mm,
We had wait staff wait on us. They watched just everything, and it was just amazing.
mm,
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, cakes, everybody just was amazing. And then to be able to go in part of Johannesburg, which was Soweto, and see the culture and see the daycares and the schools and see the people and just hear the stories. It was just it was so rich in culture.
mm,
So you're not just going for a business coaching type of trip.
mm-hmm,
You're going for everything. She
mm.
captivates everything. So it
And,
was just amazing. So
and
yes, I'm going back. I have to figure out when I'm gonna get back, but I'm gonna get back.
well, when you go, I'm going with you.
Yes, boo.
So
You gotta be there.
we gonna play in that, even if it's for the global power.
Yes, and she has that every November. I'll send you the
Yes, so
information.
we could definitely. That's in Houston.
Yes, in Houston at
Okay.
the Post Oak Hotel. That hotel's amazing.
Okay. So
Amazing. Yes,
we're gonna grab
I'm
up some
seeing it.
girls and we gonna go.
Yeah,
We definitely
we
gonna
gonna
go.
go.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
And I love that. I love that. It was an experience.
It
And I
was.
feel like that's what we all need to continue to surround ourselves around is
Yeah.
experiences, because that
Yes.
only just helps us to elevate and to just inspire the next person, and not
Yes.
to just look at anyone, but just to really like genuinely want to inspire and have everyone
Right.
elevate, get more money, more
Yes.
connections.
Right.
So we can be wealthy women just
Yes.
building
Yes.
communities and lives and changing and
Yes.
helping and just traveling. That's one of my goals, just to travel all over the world,
Yes. Yes.
being a counselor and just helping, inspiring. And
I'm with you. I want to do the same thing. I want to be able to do that and have programs and international programs. That's one of my biggest goals. And I know I'm going to work hard to make sure that we get it. But you're right.
you're doing it.
It's amazing. Yeah.
But you're
No.
already doing it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
So I want to ask you if you could just share something inspiring for a school counselor that is looking to go into this field, that's watching and that may say, you know what, I may be hesitant,
Mhm.
or they may have the application, but they haven't completed it yet. What is something that you could share with them, inspiring?
I would say if you have the application, do it. Do it, try it, go for it. One of the big things that I feel like that I wish that I do now that I'm providing that I wish I had a school counselor mentor. So that's what
Mm,
I do. I'm mentoring, our school counselors, our new novice, green school counselors, or even counselors that's been in the game that just want to have a brain dump or something to really, just refresh your ideas. Get you a mentor. You
mm.
know what I mean? And I do that. So if you want to reach out to me, School Counselors on Wheels on Instagram, in my website, but Shatiera Portee on Instagram, I'm School Counselors on Wheels. But I would say get yourself a mentor and keep yourself with some professional development in all areas, because you never know what a student may come to with your in your office, and it can be different things. But just don't feel like that you're going to get it there sometimes, or like, oh, you're going to get all of it there. No, 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 but I think go to be a part of your local organization, your national organization, but also outside of that,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's quarterly, even
Yes.
if it's quarterly. So you know what I'm saying, 4 times a year, make sure you're working with a mentor that you love, that you respect, that you enjoy, that can continue to help you grow, and just so you can vent to, you know what I'm
Mm.
saying. So I would say definitely just filling up your cup, celebrate yourself, get yourself a mentor, and constantly, pouring into yourself with some professional development.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're
So,
welcome.
are
You're
you
welcome.
currently working like inside of schools? Like how could
Yes.
other, let's say, administrators want to reach out to you? How could they
Yes.
reach out to you so that they could pull you in and do some professional development in their schools?
Yes, yes. So currently, I am working in different school districts doing different things. So there's some districts that I'm the community liaison, where they use me to come out to promote my business and what we do. At their events and come into their schools and provide, just informational sessions, work with their parents. There is a district that I currently been working with for 2 years that I am their in-house consultant. So what that looks like is I help work with administrators to continue to look at their student engagement, their student services, and their programs so that we can always just see how we can continue to grow. But I also provide mentoring and coaching to their new school counselors. And then I also am in different districts doing writing programs, empowerment workshops and programs, and just speaking to educators. So sometimes I come in throughout the year and do professional um, workshops to ask the educators and let them know it's okay. I got you. And these are the ways that we're going to survive this new year. And how you can get in contact with me, you can email me at schoolcounselorsonwheels@gmail.com, or feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, or you can feel free to reach out to me on Shatiera Portee on Instagram.
Listen, y'all better reach out to her.
Yes.
As y'all could see, she is a school counselor on the wheels. So
Yes.
if you call her, she might be somewhere. So y'all got to catch her when you can.
Yes. Yes.
Because she's in South Africa. She's traveling the world, helping people,
Yes.
inspiring people.
Yes.
So
Yes.
listen, email her, contact her.
Yes.
She's very inspiring. She builds me up every day. I promise you guys that
Thank
she does.
you.
So I
Yes.
want you to tell us what do you have going on? Like what's coming up? What could we look forward to in the future with you?
I love that.
Some amazing things. I know it's amazing things, but what could you share with the people that may want to follow
Yes,
you and things
thank
like
you.
that?
Thank you. Feel free to make sure you log on and look at Amazon, Books a Million, Barnes and Nobles, Target, or Walmart to get my book, I Forgive Myself for Forgetting Myself. It's available everywhere. Also, we have a free workshop on May 6th
Free
at 12
workshop, y'all.
p.m. Yes, free workshop virtual.
Okay.
May 6th, Saturday, May 6th at 12 p.m. You can go on Eventbrite. It is free. It is for any young girl under the age of 18 that can come on, and we're just going to do a chat, do some writing, journaling, and it's an empowerment session. So it's an hour just for young girls to come on for us to chat. I did this a lot during the pandemic and bringing it back. So I've had young girls in South Carolina, New York, all over the state, a lot from Jersey that came on. And then what we do is just fun games. We have conversation, and then we just see what's going on, like a check-in, just another way for them to check in to see how they're doing, and then letting them know to make sure they can always reach out to their families, their counselor, different people, just to continue, supporting them. And then I have an amazing, amazing opportunity that anyone that's listening that feels like, you know what, I want to do something. I'm not sure what I want to do. I have a goal. I don't know what I got going on. I have a dope mastermind. It will be starting
Yes.
June 4th. It would kick off with a celebratory meeting in May, but it's a virtual online where we meet every Sunday at 6 o'clock from 6 to 8 Eastern Standard Time. And what happens is it's a 90-day visionary accountability program where you can be a school counselor, you can be somebody that's an entrepreneur, anything, and you pick 1 or 2 goals that you want to work on, and I hold you accountable. And it's a circle. So currently we have 6 spots left, only 6 spots. But if that's something that you say, you know what, I want an accountability group, I want to be able to work towards executing this goal. I really don't have a good track record. I start something, I don't finish it, or I just want to build community. I want to be able to celebrate and just work alongside other people that are, accomplishing their goals. And I want to find a community like that. We would love to have you. So that is currently I'm available. The registration deadline is May 20th, but like I said, we only have 6 spots left. So if
Six
that's
spots
something
left,
that you want
guys.
to join, six, baby, we would love to have you. And it's me mentoring, coaching you, and making sure, holding yourself accountable for something you say you want to do. I'm gonna make sure you do it. So it's really just making sure. And we talk about shifting your mindset, holding yourself accountable. What routines and procedures and things are you doing every day? How to celebrate yourself, and then just really looking at how to continue with this after the accountability program is over.
I'm just like I'm blown away. Like you're like
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking I should join it, but I'm like I don't want to commit to it, and I can't commit to it. But
Right, and I know Sundays you're busy too because it is on a Sunday.
I'm like there's so many people that need this.
Mm-hmm.
So listen,
Mm-hmm.
if you need this, if you 90 days is 3 months.
Yes.
3 months of
And we're
your
in our second quarter, right? You're thinking about second quarter. We're going into the third, but you're saying, listen, I need some accountability.
right,
Like, I need help. I
right.
don't know. I'm shy. I'm not. I'm telling you, I had 7 people join this first. So Sunday, next Sunday, this Sunday coming up is my first. The first cohort is almost done, and when I tell you, these individuals killed it. We had some start businesses. We had some lose weight. We had some work
Wow.
on their mental health, and now they're coming back for the second session to now say, now I'm mentally in a good space. So
Wow.
now that I can start on working on the goal that I thought I could work on, but I knew I wasn't mentally, emotionally, spiritually right. And they got there through the first 90 days. Now I said, I need you, Shatira. I need you to hold my hand because I'm ready to attack this other goal that I have, because we always got goals. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter when you start. It's just about how you get the support so you can finish. And that's what we promote there. So I would love to have anyone come and join. You're going to love it. I promise you. You're not the same. You're not the same person.
And listen, guys, she is going to hold your hand. Again, you don't have to
Yes.
be a school counselor.
Yes.
You don't have to have no
You-
counseling background. This is for entrepreneurs, those that want to lose weight, those that want to just create a prayer life, whatever it is. 90 days,
Yes.
mastermind class,
Yes.
sign up. There's 6 spots left. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. This counselor, Shatiera, is on the move, and you need to be a part of it.
Yes.
I'm asking you, if you really see yourself in a place where you need accountability, you need an accountability partner,
Yeah.
sign up today.
Yeah.
Follow her link. I'm going to tag her in all of the posts.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Sign up.
Yes.
And if you need to be put on a wait list, or even email her, say, listen, please
We can
add
do
me.
wait lists. Yes. Wait lists. We do payment plans, whatever, just reach out.
And how much?
Nothing's ever impossible for me. We make things work. I promise you, because I knew how I had to make it work. So we make things work for you.
Yes, yes. And I want to end off with this. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Of course.
So if there's a scripture or a quote that you hold dear to you that you would like to share with everyone that's listening, your last thoughts, whatever it may be, what would it be? And you could just share that now at this time.
I have a couple of quotes that I use, but I put them together because it was something that I had to go through. And anyone that's listening, sometimes we go through things and we get stuck, right? We get stuck in that place and we don't know where to start, where to come back from, how to get around it or jump over it. So everyone that's listening, it really is, forgive yourself. Forgive it, release it. Give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to let it go. Whatever that thing is, whoever that person is, whatever happened, right, that you're holding on to that needs to be released, release it and start celebrating you, because you are truly dope and you deserve it. So I love you all. Thank you for letting me share that. Remember, forgive it, forgive, right? Have faith that it's going to be okay. Learn to celebrate who you are, because you are dope, and love on yourself.
Wow. Forgive and let it go.
Yep. Yep.
And if I could just add, give yourself grace,
Yep. Yep. Have to. Have to.
and you'll
Have
get
to.
through it.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Listen, we could keep going on and on. We could keep going on and on. Listen, guys, I hope you guys truly enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. I have been like, first of all, waiting to speak to you for a long time. I couldn't wait because I know so much things has happened where I had to cancel, whatever.
Yes.
But I'm glad that
Yes,
we
it's okay.
had the opportunity today. This is perfect.
Yes.
This conversation was very authentic, and I love everything that you shared. I thank you for not holding back. I thank you for inspiring me as a school counselor,
Yes.
because I find sometimes that there's things that I want to do, but I'm like, man, I don't know if I should. Am I doing too much? But I love that you're showing us the way. Like, you're showing us, like, listen, there's more to it than just being in the office. You can step outside of the building, and there's so much things that can be done.
Right.
And I appreciate you. Again, I give you your flowers. I salute you as a school counselor
Thank you, boo.
because you've been in the game for a very long time.
Yes,
And
yes.
I'm going to continue to share, your book, which I'm going to purchase as soon as we get off this line
Thank you.
today.
Thank you.
Listen, everyone, run over to Amazon, buy her
Yes.
book today. It's on sale. Let's sell it out where it's sold out. Get
Yes,
those
come on
copies.
now.
Let's sell it out. Let's support our sister. Again,
you.
I appreciate you. I'm excited for what's to come, for the
Yes.
connection. Y'all stay tuned because we got something planned, y'all.
We got it planned. It's cooking up, you
Yes.
guys.
So stay tuned. Thank you again. Everyone that's watching, thank you guys again for tuning in. Love you all. Stay connected. Counselors Connect.